Well, as the first North Dakotan to ever serve on an Armed Services Committee in Congress, it's, first of all, just such a great honor, but I've tried to use my seat as best I can on the Armed Services Committee to secure funding authorization and the language for missions that both directly and indirectly benefit our, that is to say, North Dakota's military community. In this year's bill fully funds, for example, nuclear modernization efforts, supports our efforts to develop increased intelligence capabilities, and we know how important that is, and grow the Space Force, which is part of the same mission, and then authorizes multiple North Dakota military projects. I've also been a strong vocal supporter of the nation's nuclear triad, and have pushed military leaders at the highest levels to keep ground-based strategic deterrent modernization funded and on time. And of course, that takes us right to the Minot Air Force Base, where we have two of the three legs of the triad, the only base in the country. This bill provides $3.7 billion for Sentinel modernization, Sentinel being the replacement of the mission now. It provides $770 million for B-52 engine replacement programs and radar modernization, so those very old birds are going to fly with new engines. It provides nearly $41 billion for nuclear command, control, and communication program. That's what will modernize the communications equipment that's used at our nuclear bases, and especially, of course, our Minot Air Force Base. It also limits the ICBM, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile count, to no less than 400 total. That protects our nuclear deterrent and really high priority. Now, as we go east over to the Grand Forks Air Force Base, what this bill does, it directs the Secretary of the Air Force to provide a briefing on options to return the runway at Grand Forks to its original width for future strategic bomber usage, and of course it has a retirement prohibition for the RQ-4. Now, the Space Development Agency, which is the new mission at Grand Forks, really, really important, obviously, to Grand Forks and to the country, expresses a sense of the Senate that the Secretary of the Air Force should fully staff the Space Development Agency with 3 senior executive positions. What that does is it elevates and secures the importance of SDA at Grand Forks. With regard to the Cavalier Space Force Station and the Perimeter Acquisition Radar Attack Characterization System, or as we call it, PARCS, it adds $8 million for PARCS modernization. Again, like the B-52s, that's a very old radar, but it's critical to so many missions, both in space and domestically. North Dakota Army National Guard and Air National Guard, we have a lot of winners in there for them. There's $2 million for Camp Grafton's institutional post-initial military training unaccompanied housing. Very important at Camp Grafton as it grows in its importance. It provides about $5.4 million for cost to complete Dickinson's National Guard Readiness Center. Boy, won't it be fun to see that project all the way through. So glad to get that authorization as well. Other key North Dakota projects include U.S. Marine Corps Advanced Technology Demonstration. This is hardware that's in the loop capabilities, and it was increased by $5 million so we could support the efforts of Ideal Aerosmith in Grand Forks that's helping develop and build out that capabilities. There are also some money for advanced composites. We increased funding by $5 million for North Dakota State University's work on multi-material protective systems. So again, a lot of victories in there for North Dakota's military assets, as well as our institutions and companies that are doing so much to advance our military capabilities, and look forward to now that it's passed the Senate, look forward to combining it and reconciling the differences between the House and the Senate in a conference committee later in the year.